Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. On this video we're going to be talking about the 5 people, I don't want to say 5 type of people, but 5 people that can really benefit from this channel. We're looking at from the lowest, or the people that has got no access at all, to the people who's got the highest, or the people with the highest amount of privileges. And we're discussing the effectiveness of this channel on everybody. Just stay tuned for the rest of the video. Hi guys, thank you for tuning into this video. Thank you for being in this channel. If you have not subscribed, please consider trying to subscribe. My name is Lisema Matsietsi, here to talk about what I've observed. As everybody else wants to become an analyst. Not everybody else, but most people like you want to become an analyst. Looking at South Africa, the playing field is not even, and it's only a few people, based on the question that we ask on the interview, that actually has got the potential of ultimately becoming analysts. That nothing to do with your passion to work, your working late nights, your ability to turn water into wine. It's got nothing to do with that. You can do all those miracles, but if you are not exposed to the right environment, the likelihood is you might not be able to make it. Let me start first on number 1, looking at the South Africa in context. I'm not talking about South Africa being at the bottom of Africa. I'm talking about South Africa and population and income gaps within the country. If you're looking at the people that are able to earn more than, let's say, 200,000 rand, about 8% or less of the population, and the majority of the people are surviving probably on income that is less than 1,500, and I think around COVID I've heard the numbers that it went down to about almost 1,000 rand. Some of the people are surviving on social grants, which is mostly the biggest contributor of means of making money in South Africa. It's the one that you give to help out with the family, the child grant. I think at the rate, I stand to be corrected, it's about 350, something less than 400 rand. So it's less than what, $30, the current conversion rate. $30 a month, I must say. People are able to live on that. So it means, yes, you are those people that are able to live with less than $1 a day. Let's think about it, that you got 350 rand as a child grant. What do you do? First thing, what do? You just got the money, it's in your account, you walk straight, thinking you're gonna go to a local grocery store. I mean, one of the biggest one has packaged everything else into little packets, so you'll have your mini meal, your beans, your whatever packaged together. The 350, you can make something. You get transport money, then you get back home. I mean, that's where the full stop is. On that whole process, I haven't spoken about your ability to not just have a phone or assets or whatever the case is, but your ability to partake into buying, data and stuff like that, so that you can become an analyst. Because half of your grant just went, well, not half, almost 100% of your grant just went into transportation to get to the shops and back. And maybe you buying the necessity, for you and your child, and that's it. I'm looking at those people's ability to participate, like me and you in this channel. What are the likelihoods of those people being here? And then we can already ascertain that they're not gonna make it, whether they have infrastructure or devices or not. But if they are in that area that they're sitting in and they are not able to get access to data, tools to download, laptops, whatever the case is, majority of South African population is not gonna make it. Now let's look at the trying half. I don't know the actual percentages. Number 2 is we're looking at the trying half. They are still in the poverty line, but at least they're trying. They have the assets and they have access to maybe the public library, they have access to a Wi-Fi, and they have access to the devices. So those ones are the ones that I would say, yes, you can tune into this channel and like channels, and you can be able to do all you could in your space to make sure that you equip yourself to becoming an analyst. But also there is a but on there and not an end, because you get hyped up about knowing what's needed, the tips about how do you share presentation, tips about how do you talk, motivation, you get there. The reality is there's nothing much story that you can say on your side to make you, like the people in the boardrooms, to actually believe in you, that you know what, from you watching this YouTube video, you can actually somehow just make it into an analyst. So those people that are aspiring and are very trying few, it looks like also that they also share the same fate. Now the third one is the people that, most like myself, we all get these things in universities. Remember, I'm making a distinction between trying few, number 2, and the ones in university, because the one in university means there's already very few people in there. They go to university and they try out to make themselves analyst, and already, unless if your course is very not demanding, already there you can already see the problems. They are already filled up with all the other requirements for them to, you know, get their degrees and stuff like that. They might not have the time to explore fully about being an analyst, but the nice part is there is light there. They can come through, get out with an engineering degree, and can easily convert that engineering degree into an analyst, into an analyst profession. They can easily take their medical degree and then end up being a medical analyst in the medical field. So there is this, you're starting to see some light. Number 4 is the people who are able to get the resources, not just the internet and the computers from the universities, but they have that at home. In hindsight, according to TV, we are made to believe that there is a huge number of people with uncapped internet, you know, fast laptop, Microsoft licenses, AWS licenses, who are at home without attending any university. But the real truth is those are unicorns. It's very hard to find those people. Let's say, for instance, there is a unicorn and they are there and they're like, yes, I can become an analyst, that I'm gonna teach myself. I finished up my matric. I'm just gonna listen to this guy called Lisema Matsietsi and try to do the analysis thing and go. Long story short, there are very few unicorns that can make it there. Most of them that we actually sit down and we listen to that story, it's when they find themselves out of there. Maybe they join one of the empowerment programs for employment, like the YES program. They find themselves into a YES program. They start as a receptionist or just runners, and then before they know it, they bump into Lisema and they say, what do you do? I'm like, I'm just an analyst, and say, can I shadow you? And I'm like, okay, so you can shadow me. And then before you know it, I write a citation to say they can become an analyst. So that's why I said they are unicorns. And the last part, number 5, is the ones that are already working. They are working, you have your profession, and you jump into to become an analyst. Those are the majority of us that are talking. I'm not going to go into detail. The real truth is, when I sat down and I reflected and I went through with a thinking partner and he helped me to think about this channel might not be able to, even if it goes into the ears of the people on number 1, which the people who are extremely poor, surviving with 350 rands or maybe $30 a month, they are totally disabled to make the jump to this side, unless if you're a miracle. The people on number 2 who are, you know, they are trying, are also, it becomes also a miracle, but they can listen to this. I mean, you go back, you stay in low-cost housing or whatever the case is, or you even stay with your parents and it becomes your parents' poverty, not your own poverty. There are also very few on that case that can actually just make the jump. Ultimately, I had to face the truth that most of the people I'm assuming in this channel would be people that are working in the same area like myself, or people that already just want that small transition, but they already have. And it became a paradox, because at one point, I remember when I did my studies in development finance, my purpose was to enable the underprivileged. My positioning, it's so far-fetched that the underprivileged, there are no ways that they can reach out to me. I'm so far-fetched. In order for the underprivileged to reach out to me, it's either I go into your township and I talk to you there, I show you the tools. If I'm busy on back-to-back meetings like today, the likelihood is I'm not gonna be in your township. I'm gonna be at home in the small office, and I'm gonna be working, and it's gonna be late. I'm gonna pick up the kids, and I'm gonna go to sleep, and tomorrow is gonna look exactly the same. So the likelihood I might not get to you. This becomes the channel to get to you, but in so doing, I might be feeling unfulfilled in the quest that I'm trying to do, help out people know about the information so that when they get here, they are more prepared. And you're also on the other side, you're thinking all these people with opportunities are sitting up there, they don't want to let us know how the opportunities work. And with all of this thing at the back of my mind came out another thing that I thought about, which was lifting SRIs. I reached out to my high school, my previous high school, and I said, you know what, I'd like to empower maybe 15 or 10 promising people, speak to them. It's me trying to say, I'm gonna get out of my little office, I'm gonna go out and speak to other people, whether it's gonna be via Zoom or it's gonna be physically or visually, it doesn't matter. I just need to speak with other people. And also that it's got, you know, proving challenges, because I mean, my workload is actually quite hectic. Their workload is something else. And it's starting to become even more difficult, and more difficult, and it's creating frustration. But at the end of the day, the truth that not most people that I would like to reach are unreachable, I think it creates the tingling things into our stomach. It just reflects on the disparities or whatever the gap that our country, I mean, I love South Africa so much, but there's so much gaps that even when somebody wants to, they are unable to do it. One person that I listened to, he said, using, you know, some other tools, we, instead of when the door says pull the door, it's like we're pushing towards it, because I'm taking information and I'm pushing to the person, and because I'm not there to actually hear what the person says so that I can do, it becomes very difficult to make it through. And with this video, you know, I'm starting to say, I'm reflecting that there are factors, and I'm acknowledging it. Please don't watch this thing and think that in the channel I'm being arrogant. There are factors that are influencing a lot of people in South Africa not to feel in sync with the conversation in this channel. And I acknowledge that, and it's a sad reality. Number 5 and number 4 is the people that actually could find this useful, but they're already part of the top 8%. They're already making the money. So it's like, it becomes true that only the rich look out for the rich. You're already part of the 2%, 8%. Also, maybe you're even top of the 0.1% that's making over 1 million a year. You're already there, and you're listening to say, how can I become a better analyst? But maybe the challenge becomes, how do we now enable our fellow brothers and sisters who are earning 350 rands to get access to this information, not just access, but with the tools that allow them to practice and go into the field so that they can become analysts. But thanks a lot, guys, for watching this video. I know it's a little bit of a vent. It became a lot of revelation along the way, but thank you a lot. Thanks for subscribing. Cheers.